The leaders of China and Taiwan are preparing for a historic meeting. Presidents Xi Jinping and Ying-jeou are heading to Singapore for a one-on-one. If realized, it will be the first such meeting of leaders from the two sides in more than 6 decades. A spokesperson for Taiwan's presidential office said the leaders will discuss cross-strait relations. The official added Ma will hold a news conference Thursday ahead of Saturday's meeting. China's state-run Xinhua news agency also announced a meeting. It said the two leaders will discuss peaceful development. China has considered Taiwan part of Chinese territory since they split in 1949. Both sides have refused to recognize each other's sovereignty since then. But Taiwan's relations with China have been warming since 2008 when Ma came into power, primarily on the economic front. He realized the first ministerial-level meeting with Beijing in February of last year. Ma leaves office in about 6 months. Voters will go to the polls in January to choose his successor. Observers believe Ma wants to use the talks with Xi to show how his government has strengthened ties with the mainland. NHK World's Noriyuki Tajima is in Taipei. He has more on what Ma hopes to achieve in the talks.
The meeting comes in the run-up to Taiwan's presidential election in January. Ma's ruling Nationalist Party has been in power for 7 years, but there are signs of trouble ahead. Reports say the candidate of the largest opposition Democratic Progressive Party has a major lead in the poll. Democrats are opposed to closer ties with the mainland. Last year, students protesting Ma's pro-mainland policies occupied the Parliament building. The announcement of the meeting with Xi has drawn a divided response.
I have questions and concerns about the meeting. They should explain to us the details about what they're going to discuss.
I think it will be a good thing if the talks are beneficial for Taiwan's future and help our industries and economic development.
Ma has been trying to boost support for his party's presidential candidate by stressing his economic achievements in office. Analysts say his meeting with Xi is meant to emphasize the success of his pro-Beijing policies. But it is not yet clear whether the talks will help his party's chances in the elections. Noriyuki Tajima, NHK World, Taipei.
Well, China is revealing some details about the meeting. We go now to Beijing, where NHK World's Naoki Makta is following developments for us. So, Naoki, what are we hearing from China about this?
China's state-run Xinhua news agency is quoting the head of China's Taiwan Affairs Office on the matter. Zhang Zhijun says the two leaders will exchange views on promoting the peaceful development of cross-Taiwan Straits relations. Zhang stressed that arrangements were made in line with the One China principle, a reference to the view that Taiwan and the mainland are part of a single Chinese nation. Zhang said Chinese President Xi Jinping and Taiwanese President Ma Ying-jeou will meet in their capacity as leaders of two sides. But he said they will refer to one another as Mr. Observers say China apparently made considerations at Ma's request that the meeting be held on equal footing.
How have the people in China reacted to this news?
Some welcome the meeting, saying it will help advance cross-strait ties. Others say it's nothing but an internal affair.
The meeting is good to improve the relationship and stability of China and Taiwan.
China and Taiwan is one whole family. It's a normal thing that brothers meet.
It appears China wants to give moral support to Taiwan's ruling Nationalist Party ahead of January's presidential election. The party places importance on ties with China. Polls show the largest opposition, Democratic Progressive Party, as the front-runner. So far, Xi's administration doesn't have effective channel of dialogue with the party. And the party has not acknowledged the One China principle. Observers believe this summit is paving the way for China to widen lines of communication with Taiwan, even if the nationalists are defeated in the election.
Naoki Makita from Beijing. Well, Japan's top government spokesperson says the country's leaders will closely monitor developments.
We think peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait is extremely important for the region and the rest of the world. Japan's position is that the issue involving Taiwan should be peacefully resolved through direct dialogue between the parties.
In Washington, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest welcomed news of the meeting.
We would certainly welcome steps that are taken on both sides of the Taiwan Strait to try to reduce tensions and improve cross-strait relations.
Earnest said U.S. officials will have to wait and see what actually comes out of the meeting.